Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2017 Taiko World Cup Group Stage Drawings. I'm Tasha, and I'm joined here with Zedra today. How you doing, Zedra?
I'm great, thank you.
Awesome.
What about you?
I'm doing fine. I'm really excited to see how these teams are going to be placed for the group stage here. Not only that, I'm really eager to show the map pool to everybody because this map pool is looking absolutely crazy for a group stage map pool, especially if you compare it to the previous cups.
Absolutely unseen, really. I'm really excited to see what the reactions are going to be by the players.
Yeah, for sure. And the one thing that a lot of teams probably have on their mind right now is who is going to get paired with Japan. That's really going through so many teams' minds right now. That is the one team you do not want to have as your top seed in your group.
That's the question of the day. Nobody wants to fear the beast or play against it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've got some really strong... I'm being told I should be mentioning Locktab here. We also have our awesome tournament host here, Locktab. He is with us today too.
I feel neglected, but hello everybody.
So now you're not neglected anymore. But yeah,
I'm flattered.
We have some really strong teams overall in like the top seedings this time around. Like we have Japan, which everyone knows is like really strong. You know, no introduction needed there. But we also have like Taiwan, Hong Kong, United States, Germany, Canada, like all really strong teams this year around.
Pretty much the big names that we've seen through the last World Cups as well.
Yeah, we actually also have 3 new teams for at least this year. They did not participate last year in Finland, Ukraine, and Norway. Some of these teams have participated before in older cups, but they did not participate in the 2016 Cup.
Sure, can't wait to see new players coming in. And everybody's welcome to join, really. So each year we have a sign-up phase that goes for a couple of weeks, and anybody that's interested in playing that is in the range of 5k ranks is welcome to join the World Cup of each year.
Yeah, we actually had a couple of like relatively new people that did join this year.
Absolutely.
Especially if you look at the United Kingdom, they have Hydri and Riley Spook, who are probably the lower ranks on their team, but they're pretty new faces. We haven't actually seen them participate in Taiko World Cup at all before.
Yeah, I haven't seen these names, but nevertheless, they seem to be quite the promising players. I mean, they made it here after all.
Yeah, for sure. Just looking at the team list, though, it's just we've got so many interesting players that are joining this year. We had a couple people that had originally just been gone, like Zay, for example. Zay was just off the map, off the radar entirely, and they're back to play for this cup.
Well, in fact, they joined last year as well, but their activity phases are just a mystery to everybody. So,
they were just
we have him
gone
here.
for like 8 months.
Yep.
Fudgy actually as well. Fudgy's done the same thing. Fudgy participated last year, or Fudgy King participated last year for Canada, and was gone for about like 8 months because apparently they were having issues with one of their hands.
Oh, really?
They're back again for this cup.
Glad to hear that. Good player.
So we are about to start in 3 minutes. A little surprise here, we have a new drawing client, which is kind of fancy.
Oh. I'm used to the sort of remnant selection in-game grouping setup.
Yeah, it's part of the new Osu laser build, the rewriting of the Osu client.
So we get
Currently
a
under
leak
here.
here.
It's not a leak, it's like freshly implemented. It sells like hotcake.
I'm definitely interested in seeing that. Gotta be a little patient though.
It looks really good. I mean, like, I really like how it looks, and it actually doesn't look like map selection anymore. Map selection random shuffle. So it's progress, I guess, and it's really well made, really solid, and lots of kudos for Smoozy Poo for that.
I'm just gonna be honest. In general, like I want laser. It just looks so good. Like all the different previews that we've been getting from Peppy have just been amazing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna miss like the old style of just selecting the teams.
That was Deadbeat, by the way, for people not
Hello.
knowing.
I'm here as well.
Right.
Yeah, people from the off talking, always working.
Yeah, for anyone that actually doesn't know what the old style of drawing was, Locktab could tell you all about that, because I distinctly remember a certain time where somebody was drawing out of like a hat.
Now, I was drawing out of Tupperware boxes.
Oh, it was Tupperware, yeah. Okay, Tupperware boxes, and you were wearing
I
Kigu
was
as well, if I remember correctly.
in a giraffe kigurumi, drawing pieces of paper out of a Tupperware box,
Wow, I remember
live
that
and
as well.
stream.
Good times right there.
That was the time to be alive, man.
There was still times where I had black-blue hair.
Clearly, we don't need this modern technology for drawing. We just need to go back to the Tupperware boxes.
Or a hat. We'll get a big, like, top hat.
An Osu hat. It's pink.
Yeah, why is that not in stores yet? Get it there. Right now.
Didn't there used to be
Today.
a Oz hat?
When they're just hoodies, let me check.
Pretty sure
No, I
there's
could've-
just hoodies.
I could have sworn there was a mod hat.
If there isn't a hat, there needs to be a hat.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I've already got the shirt. Just need to go. I need the hat to go along it so I can complete my OS repertoire of clothing.
Have you got the hoodie?
No, but I don't tend to wear hoodies, so I'm just gonna like walk down the street with like my OS t-shirt and my OS hat, and I'm gonna look totally baller.
And it's time to
Pictures of
start.
that. Anyway.
All right, so it sounds like we are gonna be starting with a drawing soon. Awesome.
Awesome. And like always, we are having lots of preliminary explanations. We have 3 seats because there will be 3 teams in each groups. And yeah, we started with the lowest seed, distribute them across all 8 groups, and then we move on to mid seed and then to top seed. Make sense?
Yep, let's go.
Yep.
So here we are.
Sorry, go ahead.
Here we are. This is in your drawings client. I mean, like, you'll see all the flags of all the low-seeded people right now.
Ooh,
Uh,
that's not too bad. Not too shabby.
That is a
not too
fancy.
shabby.
That is fancy.
I'm comparing this to the previous one. Wow, did a lot of work there.
And starting, I will just read out who's in the low seed. So it will be Malaysia, Venezuela, Ukraine, Finland, the Russian Federation, China, Norway, and Sweden. And I will just start shuffling, I guess.
All right.
Speed up the roulette. Well, the beginning is always not that thrilling. Just gets more thrilling when we know more people, more consolation.
Yeah, once we start actually seeing like some people filling into the different groups, we'll be able to kind of like talk about the teams a little bit more and about how the groups might play out.
Okay, and let's just stop roulette now and see who's in Group A. Oh, we're having Norway.
Oh, Norway is actually one of the teams that only has 3 players. There's only 2 teams in the cup that actually only have 3 players in total. So for Norway, we have Jonah, Fallen Demon, and Kiwi-P. All of them are participating. I don't believe any of them have any unique play styles, like they don't have like any DDKK players or like index players or anything like that.
Well,
They do.
these players are all above 5k PP, as well as 98% accuracy. So we can expect quite some performances from this team as well, even though they are a couple players down.
And it'll definitely be interesting to see how some of the low seed teams manage this group stage map pool, because guys, you haven't seen it yet, but oh man, you're gonna be so excited for this. I can't wait to tell you all about this pool.
Can only support that thought, really. I'm so excited to share what we have seen, the horrors that we have seen.
The horrors. Let's just move on to Group B, I guess, before we talk about these horrors.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Let's see, who's in Group B?
Like, I've seen the pictures of this, but just seeing it actually happen is just so cool.
And in Group B, we will have the Russian Federation.
All right, so Russia does have a full team this year. They have Wolf, JK. I can't say his name, unfortunately. I'm not very good at that. As the captain, and for the other players, they have Green Yo-Yo, Alt, Daisy Feed, Naninub, and Youth. The team averages between their entire team about 5,600 performance points, with their top 3 players averaging around 6,159. And overall, their top 3 for accuracy is actually pretty strong. They have about 98.7 average accuracy with their top 3 players. So we should definitely see them being able to at least like hold their ground in the group stage, though we'll have to see how they perform on the maps, as I mentioned.
Right, I'm excited to see how these accuracies will actually transfer to the maps that we have in the map pool. I mean, looking at the values, for example, Alt with 99.08 accuracy looks pretty strong, and I expect a lot of them, but we'll see.
One player to watch out for Russia, though, is definitely their captain. Their captain is by far their best player in terms of ranking. So definitely keep an eye out for Wolf JK.
It's over 7 grand PP.
Let's move on. Here the roulette is rouletting. Oh god. Let's see. We're having Malaysia.
Malaysia, huh? Okay. So for Malaysia, we have Zetricol, Jerry, Taiko Maniac 1811, Busy Dao, LSK 0204, and Casey Lee 2172 as the team.
Let me just quickly talk about the accuracy here. Now, this is a team to fear. Their 3-player average is at 99.2%. That's quite the value, with the top player being at 99.73% accuracy. That's a very solid number that we have right here.
Yeah, actually, the scary thing about Malaysia, despite being a low seed team, they're actually, by my sorting for accuracy, they are the 4th most accurate team in this tournament, at least at their ranking, which is, it's pretty scary if you think about it. Like, some pretty strong teams could end up losing to these guys just on accuracy alone if they can keep up with the maps.
That's true, definitely. We also have some known names there. Taiko has participated in a lot of World Cups already. As has Jerry, I believe.
I think yes, Jerry and Taiko already participated in the past team rosters for Malaysia already.
Last thing to note about Malaysia is their 3-player average for performance points is 6,446. It does drop quite a bit by their full team, as there is one player that is a little bit down there in ranking, Casey Lee, only at 2.9k performance points. But we should definitely see a good performance from these guys overall, especially with their top 3 being able to, you know, hit the more difficult maps and just having such a strong accuracy in general for their team.
Right, and also don't count out the lower players. We're always open for surprises.
Alright, let's move on to Group D. Let's shuffle it. And we're having the Ukraine.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, Ukraine is actually a team that did not participate in the 2016 World Cup. They are back again for the 2017 World Cup. They are led by Annie as their team captain, and they have Gavnono and Don Omar as their other players. They are only a 3-player team, so they do not have any backups to rely on. Between the 3 players, they have an average of 6,292 performance points, and with their highest player ranking is Gavnono, who has 6.8k performance points.
Right, and their accuracy is averaged at about 98.25%, which is also pretty solid. There is, of course, still leeway for better accuracy, but again, we cannot really expect what is going to happen in the tournament.
They used to be the underdogs, I remember, like kicking out top-seeded players out of group stage.
Yeah, that
So
did actually happen.
Don't underestimate them.
I don't know. I'm actually really interested to see how well they'll perform. They don't have any players with unique playstyles either. None of the teams that we've actually gone over so far have had unique playstyle players. Like, we don't have any DDKK players or index-only players yet.
Okay, let's move on to Group E. We will have Sweden.
Okay, Sweden consists of Ralfich, Ayu, I believe it is called, Karl Johan, and Tanaka, with Tanaka having participated in previous TWCs, and they averaged their PP at 6.006k, which is not too bad, but they are indeed ranked below any other team in the tournament.
Yeah, and looking at accuracy from these players as well, the top 3 actually has a fairly strong accuracy average of 98.46, with Rafalj actually bolstering that quite a bit with an accuracy of 99.12 on their average. However, it does drop quite significantly on their 4th player, Tanaka, who has a 95.02% average accuracy. So we may see some accuracy issues in general from this team, and we may end up seeing some issues, at least with mods as well, because there is not very many players for their team to, you know, switch out if there is issues with like a player being unable to play hidden or hard rock.
Again, they may have some aces up their sleeves. Maybe they're practicing specific maps, they can be sure that they are going to knock out some other good teams with. I mean, it has all happened before.
I mean, there's definitely a hope for any team to take a point, but
Right.
we'll have to see how that really plays out. I can't really say anything about the maps yet. I really want to, but soon.
Can't wait to reveal that.
Alright, let's move on to Group F, I suppose.
Sure.
Just Finland, Venezuela, and China left. And we will have Finland.
All right. So for Finland, we have Dusky as the captain, and we have Solarn, Mafe, Rikochi, Loferbo, and Lafay. Lefel. I can't say that one. Lafafe. There we go. Okay, I think I got it. We're gonna go with that. For a low-seeded team, they are pretty up there with 6.
Oh, yeah.
They have a 6.5k performance point average with their top 3, and they do have 6 players, which is an advantage, especially in a low seed team, as you can switch players around when a player has like trouble with a map or something like that.
Oh, and also, their accuracy is actually quite up there with the others. They're in the mid of the field, comparing all the teams. So they do have quite the advantage over a lot of teams in this group stage with Scovy 2.
For sure. As for playstyles, we still don't have any unique playstyles being showcased from any of these teams or players, so we'll have to wait until we've seen some new teams to really talk about that.
That being said, we move on to the last 2 teams to be shuffled, Venezuela and China. Let's see who's making it into Group G. And we are having Venezuela.
Now here's a team to talk about. This is the team that has the first player that is not using the conventional style of KDDK. Now Chichinya is actually playing a DDKK or vice versa playstyle.
That's just like me.
And me. And Tosh as well.
High five!
DDKK, yeah!
So for anyone that doesn't know what that is, which I would assume that if you're here, you probably do, but just in case, a DDKK playstyle is when you have your Dons or your red notes on one hand and you have your cats or your blue notes on the other hand. So you're basically playing like color split. But speaking about Venezuela here, so we have Chichinwa, Lord Ender, Jesse Chan, Thousand, Sadaru, and Seok Hyen. Overall, their team is still, again, pretty high for a low seed team, sitting at 6.3k performance points.
Oh, and their accuracy is actually quite at the top. Let's just look at the top 2 players here, 99.2 and 99.16% of accuracy. That's the, if I'm not wrong, the 5th best team in terms of accuracy right now.
Yeah, they are quite high up there. And the 2 players you were mentioning were Thousand and Sadaru, respectively. They are sitting at 99.2 and 99.16. Definitely looking forward to seeing how well they perform in this cup.
Quite a force to be reckoned with, especially in low seed.
And last but not least, I don't need to really shuffle here, we have China, I guess.
Yeah, China will be competing with Niku Benki Saya, which is their captain, Einstein _ INT, Suika, Sacrifice, and Jeff _ Y.
They are missing out on having a full 6-player team, but they do have 5 people. Their 3-player average is 6,081 performance points, so they are on the lower end of the low seed. There is only 1 team below them, and that is Sweden. But they are also pretty low on the accuracy end too, with their highest accuracy player only at 98.59% with that's Niku Benki Saya, and their 3-player average being 98.28%. So they are fairly low. Again, only 1 team below them in average accuracy, and that is Ukraine.
Well, then again, like with any other low seed team, there's nothing that could tell us that they are going to go out in group stage already. We are again open for surprises.
Oh, for
at any
sure.
given time. Yeah.
It's just they definitely have their work cut out for them for if they're going to get through the group stage, because there's going to be some pretty difficult teams for them to face against.
Oh yeah, well. Also depends on what teams are going to face them in that group. Hope it's not Japan.
Okay, with that being said, we move on to the mid seed.
Okay, who do we have in mid-seed then?
We have France, Australia, Spain, Indonesia, Poland, the United Kingdom, Argentina, and Brazil.
Quite some names here.
Quite some colorful flags. I'm still fascinated by these visuals. Especially since Indonesia and Poland coincidentally are one next to each other for maximum confusion.
I love the flag of Brazil, really. It's so unique. I love it.
Honestly, some of the teams that are in the mid-seed are pretty strong.
Oh, indeed, yeah. Especially I'm looking at France right now. They've scored pretty highly in other TWCs. I think it was the 15th, 2015 competition where they were 3rd place.
And they actually did get Ikoro to join this year too, didn't they?
Oh, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some players in there that are quite respected, actually. You have No Fool, Timmy Ahmed, rival in like Ikoro, like as their strong base, and I don't feel like they're gonna very easily give up points. That'll be interesting to see.
Some very well-known names here, especially Ikaro also got a name in standard mapping and playing. Basically, specializing on speed, which is something that is very useful in this game. Also generally, Timmy Ahmed is a very well-known name, also from the past. They're still with us. No Fool is a known mapper as well. A rival has come to the mapping scene.
Maybe we should shuffle first before we talk.
Yeah, shuffling would be a good idea.
You're taking all the vent before we even are there. Like,
I'm gonna laugh if we get France first anyway.
yeah, you can just resume, okay?
Oh, it's France, yeah.
Please, France. Come on, France.
We're having the United Kingdom.
Very close. Still in the European range. Okay.
Okay, so for the United Kingdom, they are fairly low on the mid-seed. They have Gohigi, Abrian, Grimbao, Mekalamembe, Hydria, and Riley Spook, as we were mentioning before. Their captain is Grimbao, so they are sitting around 6.6k performance points. Their highest is actually Gohigi at 7k. They have a 3-player average of 6.8k, so they're actually, despite being in the mid-seed, they're actually like fairly high above most of the low seeds.
So talking about accuracy, they are in the lower third. However, we have to compare the best accuracy in the lowest here. We have Grimbo at 99.10, which is very respectable, and Hydria, which is a new player, at 95.9. So this is going to balance itself out, which is why we find UK in the lower third. But we can definitely expect some really good scores from this team as well.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, even their 3-player average on accuracy is the 5th lowest. It's sitting at 98.61%. So there's quite a few teams ahead of them in overall accuracy.
And now let's see who's facing the Russian Federation in Group A.
Let's get some France in here so we have to do less talking. We did that already.
Well, if it's taking too long to pick France, we just have to repeat everything.
Maybe we're saving some time at the end. Let's just see.
Let's just see. We're having Indonesia. And I typoed their abbreviation, it's saying DIN, it should be IND. So we will survive that.
So we have Indonesia is actually a team that I feel like people need to look out for. They are fairly high seeded for a mid-seed team. And they have some really strong players. Nishizumi, as their highest ranked player, has 9.2k performance points, fairly high up there in ranking, actually in the top
Watch out for
50.
this player.
Their captain is Nico Nyan, their second highest ranked player, at 7k performance points. And then the remaining players are Misaki_TK, SE_Lovely Soul, Fajara 13k, and Kayano. Their 3-player average in performance points is also fairly high at 7.6k performance points. So they are overall quite a bit higher than most people in the mid seed area.
Yeah, their 3-player average on the other hand, at 97.55% of accuracy, means that they are in the lower third again.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting to see that a team that performs that well is actually so low on the accuracy tables. You would think that, like, you would see them be a little bit higher up, but no, they're just kind of hovering around 98.76% accuracy, which isn't bad, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not where, like, some of the top teams are.
Yeah, I'm assuming it comes from the maps that they play regularly. Like Nishizumi, I know from the mapping scene of Taiko, but assuming that they can play the maps that they map, they should be able to do quite a lot of hard maps, and that is something very crucial in our map pools this year.
Especially for the group stage.
Oh yes.
The teasing
We're
again.
teasing you, we're teasing you.
Okay, let's move on to Group C. Who's facing
Okay.
Malaysia? And Malaysia's first opponent will be Argentina.
All right, would you like to go over this one, Zetera?
Well, of course. In Argentina, we have some well-known names again. Midnight, Polituk, Loud 1G, Axa, and Arnon, as well as Gaston 2199. We know Midnight and Polituk from previous World Cup installations, and they are really good. Like, we're talking, let me just look that up real quick. Argentina, Midnight, we're looking at 8.8k performance points. Polituk is a little bit behind there with 6.5k, but that is still quite a good value there.
Accuracy-wise, a little surprised that none of the players are above 99%, but we do have one that's fairly close, Midnight at 98.99%. We'll give them that 0.01, just to kind of, like, you know, we have a player that's close enough. But their average accuracy for 3 players is 98.74%, so it's a little low. It's kind of in the same range as the low seed accuracies that we normally would see.
Well, also, their average PP isn't too far spread out. We're still at a 7k average for 3 players. That makes them at the middle of the field, which is still pretty respectable, especially for mid-seed. It fits in really well. Maybe even a bit underestimated there.
Also, would like to mention that this team actually does have a unique playstyle player as well. They have Politic, who does play a DDKK playstyle.
Right.
Stops being unique at this point.
But there is still less of them than there are than, like, KDDK players. Then I would say it's
I
unique.
know, but I just personally define unique differently, so.
Not everyone can be a completely special snowflake lock tab.
I know, everybody is special. Let's see who's facing Ukraine, this special team that is actually quite an underdog or has been in the past tournament. And it's gonna be France. Now you can resume.
Okay, so
Okay.
France. Obviously, we need to talk about Okoro. Okoro is insanely good. He is not even only a taiko player. He actually plays standard as well, or OS, I should say, before I get yelled at. But extremely talented player, especially for being a multi-mode player, and probably one of the fastest players in France, bar
I can
none.
only approve of that. Yeah, that is true. However, it takes a bit of a toll on their accuracy at 97.52. But it's still pretty good, especially looking at the maps that they normally play. I mean, we're talking over 300 BPM as a standard value here. So we can expect the accuracy to be a bit lower, but still really, really solid player.
And overall, France is actually at the top of the mid seed. They have an average or 3-player average for performance points of 8,169, which is incredibly high for a mid seed if you think about that.
Absolutely.
However, they are a little bit lower on the accuracy side of things, not by much. They're still above the curve in terms of the average team, sitting at 98.93% between their team average for 3 players.
Right.
So, go ahead.
Of course. We still have some pretty high values in accuracy though, so this is due to the loss that we get from Ikoro and Baloney at 97.81. On the other hand, we still have 99.13 and 99.02 from Timmy Ahmed and Noful, so we're quite spread out right here, and if we focus on 3 players that are going to play at the same time, or maybe 4, we will be okay here, so... Or
Now,
they will be okay, rather.
One quick mention is that there's actually 2 different unique playstyle players on this team as well. There's Valony, who is a DDKK player, and then there's Timmy Ahmed, who is a DKDK player. Not very many players that actually use that kind of playstyle. I don't know in particular what kind of issues that particular playstyle would cause disadvantages with, but definitely a player to keep an eye on.
Well, that's unique for now. It's like out the good left.
That unique enough for you, Lockpad?
Yeah, that's unique for me.
There we go.
And for that person in chat that is saying DKDK is greater than DDKK, you are totally right. It probably is.
Probably, I don't disagree.
Comes with drawbacks and benefits, but the drawbacks are pretty major at times. So yeah, I expect DK to be better as well.
Let's move on to Sweden, who's facing Sweden Group E. Not too many countries left. And we will have Brazil.
Okay, Brazil consists of Lucky Sonic GHZ, Mom, which is the captain, Serial Dreamer, Peepers, Mag, and Corin. Their average PP being at 6.7k, which is actually in the lower third. However, the accuracy looks a bit different.
Yeah, accuracy-wise, they actually have some pretty strong players in accuracy. They have Meg and Serial Dreamer, who are both sitting around the 99% mark, though it drops a little bit around their third player, Lucky Sonic GHD, dropping down to like 98.37% average. Their 3-player average across their team is 98.79%, so it's not that bad. It's about the middle of the pack, a little bit lower than the middle of the pack. But it's definitely respectable and can get them through the tournament if they can keep up with the maps.
That's true, yeah.
And again, we do have another player that is a unique playstyle player here. Marm is a DDKK player.
Quite frankly, the only name I recall is Peepers. That's from either the Taiko chat or the mod rec, the mod help one. Yeah, I haven't seen the other people around. Well, I'm interested in how they're going to do.
Yeah, out of the names that are familiar there for me is Lucky Sonic GHC, Marm, Serial Dreamer, and Pivos. I haven't actually seen Meg or Corin before, so I'm interested to see how they're going to play.
Alright.
Alright then, let's move on to Group F and Finland.
Alright, so for Finland, we have Solarn.
No, it's already in Group F, my dear.
Oh, sorry. I was like, wait.
Wait, we have this already.
It's
Full
not
hold,
that
I'm just
many-
saying who's facing Finland. Let's see.
It's not that many left to choose from.
No.
Just really
We're
wanted
having
to talk
Spain.
about Finland.
We already talked about Finland, and we have Spain. Talk about Spain.
Alright, okay, talking about Spain then, we have Matrox, Alvaro YL, Benjamin, LZD, Raiden, who is the captain, and the Madness Lady. Overall, they have a 6-player performance average of 6.6k and a 3-player average of 7.5k performance points. Would you like to talk about their accuracy, Zatara?
Of course, yeah. They are in the lower third compared to the other teams. We're still averaging at 98.11, so let's just not count them out because this is pretty much respectable still. Oh, excuse me, that was for Mitros. We're still at 98.68 though, which is even better there. There are some known players in this team. LCD is here. Hanjamon Hanjamon having the highest accuracy of this team. Braden drops a bit low there with 98.30. But we know these people from previous World Cups or through mapping as well.
Yeah, if you're a Taiko player and you don't know Raiden, then you haven't tried to map anything and get anything ranked ever. Barring that, though, we actually do have another player that is a unique playstyle, Hanjaman, who is a DDKK player. That is the only player on their team, though, that is also Raiden, rank more maps, Kappa.
Oh, and the Madness Lady is actually the username.
Yeah, it's a user called like that.
Yeah. We're not calling any ladies mad.
That would be impolite, right? I'll move on. Who's facing Venezuela in Group G? Let's figure it out.
Well, there's a 50-50 chance for Australia to be there.
Yeah, that will fuck over my scheduling, but, you know, who cares? I already see like a few people worrying to have playing in the morning. Let's hope it's not happening.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. It's Australia. I knew it.
Yep. Every time.
I'm gonna just quickly mention the players. So we have Jay here, Rolling Dango, Sir Yuya, I'm sorry if that was wrong, Enro and Aloda and Spirits Unite. They are in the middle of the ranking. It's even top 10 of the average PP ranking. We're at about 8k PP. 8k PP, I'm sorry. With Jay having an astounding amount of 9.2k. That's pretty high. That's top 100, I believe.
Yeah, Jai is actually like in the top 50. He's incredibly talented at this game. Jai being their captain. Accuracy-wise, they're pretty much right at the middle of the pack. Their 3-player average accuracy is sitting at, real quick here, 98.92%.
Right.
So it's fairly respectable. Most of the teams at that point are pretty much right by each other in accuracy, only by like a couple of like points, a couple tenths off of accuracy. So they are fairly good on accuracy. And I will say this much about this team. This team is incredibly underrated. I honestly feel like they probably should be in the top seed. So
yeah, no top seed, right?
Feel like we're probably going to see them get pretty far.
Yeah, and depending on where they will end up in this tournament, we may even see them go into the top seed. I mean, I expect a lot from this team as well, and they definitely fit in the top seed, as you said. Can only approve of that.
Yeah, and I would definitely say like by next year, if the players that are playing right now continue to improve, they will be top seed. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how would we have expected the last team is going to be in Group H is going to be Poland?
Oh, really now? Well, Poland consists of Akrith, Jamu, Subix, Creepy Duck, Tetsurio, and Kuisa. With Akrith being quite the number in the community already. They are also the captain of the team, but not the player with the most performance points, which is Creepy Duck, 8.3k on their side. And on average, they have 7.3k performance points, which is in the middle, but respectively, still really good players.
Accuracy-wise, though, kind of interesting. They are actually just above Australia in average 3-player accuracy by 0.01%. Their highest player in terms of accuracy is actually Akrith, who has a 99.2%. And Jamu is their second highest with 98.81%. It does start dropping off a little bit after their third player, who is at 98.79%. That's Cerbix. But from there on, it just kind of caters off.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a high accuracy beyond that point.
still very respectable there.
And I don't think there's any unique playstyle players on Poland. I actually forgot to mention for Australia that Jaya is actually an Index player and Surya is a BDKK player, so I apologize for not mentioning that prior.
Oh, Index being there are only 2 fingers used in that playstyle. Yeah.
And now we are moving over to the creepy part. I suppose.
The high seed, or top seed if you want.
The top seeds where
Let's call it top seed, yeah.
Let's call it the ET seed because this is where all the extraterrestrial people are.
Out come
Reminds
the
me of
monsters
Mania.
that lurk in the dark.
And here we have Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Germany, Canada, United States, South Korea, and Chile.
All these scary countries there. I remember them from previous TWCs as well.
Yeah, pretty much any team that's played against the top seed knows just how scary these guys can be.
Yeah, especially Japan.
Having played against pretty much every single one of like the top seeded teams at this point, I can definitely say there's some that I do not want to run into during the bracket stage. I'm a little scared of running into them.
Yeah,
specifically Japan, but that means that's a given. But like, I'm gonna be honest, Taiwan and Hong Kong are looking incredibly scary this year.
Oh, they do every year, in my opinion.
Well,
This year, yeah, outstanding.
Taiwan last year was scary, but this year they have like pretty much their entire like lineup. They just everything about that is scary. They have Ishida, Monkey, Sand, Stu. Like you can't really ask for a better team than that.
With that being said, let's figure out who's the last member of Group A here. Who's facing their nemesis.
This is where all the different players are praying that Japan does not get placed into their group.
Oh gee, let's figure. What's your poison? And we're having Taiwan.
Ooh, scary team Taiwan. So Taiwan is actually at the second rank in the self-compilated PP ranking here, with the average of 9,400 PP on or for 3 players. That is astounding. We have Stu, Sand, Monkey D. Luffy, Ishida, Xavilo, and Ping. I'm sorry for simplifying these names. There are some numbers that I don't want to get in conflict with. Yeah, Stu has 9.8k PP. Let's make that 10k, and that goes down until 6.6k PP. So it is kind of spread out, but most of these players have a really high value of performance points already.
Looking at accuracy though, there's definitely a difference between the first and second player in terms of accuracy. Stu is known as pretty much an accuracy player. He's sitting at 99.43% average accuracy. For good reason. That player is insanely accurate and is complete hell to play against when you are in a tournament because they're just practically always going to be sitting at like 99.9% or like 100%.
Right.
Their average accuracy is actually incredibly high as well. Their 3-player average AC is 98.99%, so they are incredibly close to breaking that 99% mark. That only like I'd say 6 teams actually reach. So just being at that point, like they're probably one of the lowest top seeds in accuracy, but they're still incredibly talented.
Oh yes. Just quickly mentioning here, I'm looking at the performance ranking of the entire world, and there's this phenomenon we call the Wall of Japan. And 2 of these players that we have, Sand and Stu, they are the 2 Taiwanese players to crush that wall, or to be a part of that wall, rather. So really,
Go ahead, sorry. Yeah, they are very talented, and I actually still owe Sand a chocolate bar. From the last World Cup, if anyone remembers that, during the last World Cup, I made a little bit of a friendly bet with Sand, and it didn't really pan out too well.
I didn't catch up, sadly, but I'm gonna make sure I can watch that and, well, confirm that you lost a bet.
I was talking with Sand and basically said, "Hey, if you guys beat us, I'll buy you a chocolate bar."
Oh, there we go. Well,
All right, let's figure who's facing Russia in Indonesia, or rather, who these two are facing. Oh god. Should I press stop to ease the pain?
hmm.
Hmm.
I'm just looking at the chat and Zedrod says, don't talk about bets. We're stopping here. Yeah. Chile too strong.
Too strong. I agree. Let's figure out who's in the group B.
Let's do it. I want to know.
And we will have Chile.
Chile, yeah. Chile actually has 3 unconventional play styles. I'm looking at that right now. We have 3 players that play DDKK or vice versa. We have Anhedonia, which is their captain, Miku WRS, and T Pasalite. These 3 play DDKK or KKDD. And the other members of the team are Okui Le Gago Guigo 3, I hope that was right, and Home.
Yeah, out of those players, Anhedonia is actually their captain. Their highest ranked player is Okui, who's sitting at 8.6k performance points. And their average 3-player performance point rank is 8.2k. So they are actually the lowest of the top seeds in terms of performance points and ranking.
Yeah, and I believe the same thing goes for the accuracy. Surprisingly, they are in the lower third here, with 98.97 being the top accuracy. So that may be their loophole here, but I think that there is going to be a lot of talent that is going to descend the concept of having accuracy by having a good combo there.
I mean, their
But maybe-
three-player accuracy is not terrible. It's 98.75%, but as you were saying, yeah, it is below the curve a little bit. They are definitely like below the lower half.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, let's figure out Group C. I see people are getting really tense. They want to know who they're facing.
Yeah, Japan is
Nervous,
still in there.
train commencing.
You just have that like impending doom, like Jaws, like doo-doo.
Damocles sword pending over your head, you know.
You just see the Japanese flag flying out of the water at you.
Let's figure who we will have in Group C, where there's Malaysia and Argentina. And it's gonna be Hong Kong.
All right, so Hong Kong. So this team, as I'm fairly aware, is a very strong hard rock team. They have some really strong players on their team, some really high-ranked players. Let's start with the top here. So we have Sing216, Chocla2287, John571, Magnumizer, Thomas1195, and I Love You Forever. They have an average performance point ranking of 9k between their 3 average players, which is actually the 3rd highest seed for performance points. Would you like to talk a little about the accuracy, Zedder?
Well, of course, yeah. The same thing goes for the accuracy ranking. They're at the 3rd place in the roster, with Sing being known for an accuracy player at an astounding 99.87%. That's the highest value we have across the board. Now, the other members of the team, they do let the average drop a little bit. Magnumizer is at 97.89. That's the lowest value they have, but their average is still at 99.21, placing them, as I said, at 3rd place. Which is still very, very good.
Yeah, and they actually do have a unique playstyle player as well, with John571 being an index player, so they only use 2 fingers while they're playing.
Yep.
Something to note just about like Scorby 2, just in general, I feel like the index players may have a little bit of trouble coming up in this Scorby 2 system, especially with how finishers work now. They are definitely worth a lot more to hit than they were prior.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if that negatively impacts the players that have that kind of playstyle coming up here.
This is the first time we're using Scorby 2 in the tournament, so we cannot really expect what's going to happen, but that makes it even more interesting for us and for you, hopefully, as well.
Well, if you guys aren't excited, then I don't know what to say. This cup is looking to be the best Taiko World Cup we have seen since I've been around, anyway.
Well, they haven't seen the map pool yet, but we'll get to that.
You already see Annie and the rival being quite nervous who's in their group, so let's figure.
Let's call this a Japan lottery.
The Russian roulette, no, Japanese roulette. Is it Japanese roulette? Yeah.
Let's go, Japanese
That
roulette.
perfectly makes sense.
I love it.
So out of the teams that are still remaining, Sweden, Brazil, Finland,
I'm pretty sure she's covering her face and can't even take a look. Okay, let's figure who's facing Ukraine and France. And it's gonna be South Korea.
all right, South Korea. So South Korea is the second lowest seeded top seed team. They have players of Quizmeiji, Bruna, Nisox, Bonehead, Jonah, and BBJ0920. They have a 3-player average performance rank of 8.6k. They are slightly above Chile by about 400 performance points on their 3-player average. So they're definitely not too low down there. They're still a very scary team, especially with players like Runa, who just basically can do like insanely difficult stuff.
Yeah, we're not just talking about Taiko here. Runa is known to be an all-mode player. Looking at their profile, they have a lot of PP on any mode, really, making them a true jack of all trades. But I don't think they're the top player of combined PP. But that's just me digressing. So let's look at the accuracy of the team. The highest accuracy here is 99.12 by Quizmeiji, and the lowest is by Jonah, 96.69, but the average is still just under 99%, which places them at about the highest third in the ranking.
All right, so just a quick mention about Runa again here. So Runa is, if I remember correctly, an incredibly talented hard rock player as well, and can do hard rock at fairly high BPMs. And it's not the kind of player you want to be playing against in our hard rock pool. Let's just put that out there right now.
Absolutely not.
But for Nisox is, again, another DDK player that will be participating in this tournament. We're almost finished with all of them now. Actually, this tournament in general has had quite a variety of playstyles. We have a fair amount of mixed playstyles here. Definitely more than what we saw from the earlier years anyway.
Oh yes.
Alright, do we want to shuffle the Japanese roulette again?
Yeah, roll
I
the
guess.
revolver. Let's go. The chamber.
It's gonna be this one.
Who's facing Sweden and Brazil in Group E?
Japan.
Oh, this is so exciting. And it's gonna be the United States.
US, okay. So I'm gonna just start with the overall accuracy here. So we have Shy Guy, J Drago 14, Das, Michio, which is the captain, previously known as Nido King, and I think a lot of people know Nido King by now. Protonori and Catgirl, and the average accuracy is the second highest of them all with 99.25%. Shy Guy is at the very top with 99.5, and half of the team is actually above 99%. So this is a team that is really scary when it comes to accuracy in general.
So this is actually our first player that we are talking about that has a 10k performance point. So Michio or Nido King. some people know him as like the convert player extraordinaire. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. A lot of people think that he's not very good. He is incredibly talented at this game. Despite what you might think about him playing converts, he probably is one of the stronger players on the US team. There are some other players on there that we are seeing that are new faces, though. We have JDrago14 and we have Catgirl, who I do not believe were in the last World Cup, but this time they are participating and are relatively new to the taiko scene. Drago had improved over the last year, as has Catgirl. Catgirl was actually streaming quite a bit during the time they were improving.
Yep.
And I would definitely say that even on the lower end of their team, they've got some strong players, and they're definitely a team to look out for.
Yeah, I believe I remember Catco from a prior installment of this tournament. It may have been 2014, I'm not quite sure though. They had a rename from Deacon to Catgirl, and that name may be ringing some bells for you. Anyway, we should be moving on to the next team, right?
One more quick thing with Nidoking. I think it's also worth mentioning he's the only person in the top 10 who isn't Japanese.
Right, yeah. The Great
Another
Wall of
testament to
Japan.
his astonishing skill.
Yeah, the Great Wall of Japan, they're actually in 9th place right now, and all of the above, and almost all of the below until rank 16 are Japanese players, so you know what is going to face you when you play against Japan.
Alright, so just 3 teams left: Canada, Japan, and Germany.
Okay, so I'm going to try and predict the order this goes in. I'm going to say that Group F is going to be Japan.
For the sake of Spain.
Group G is going to be Canada. And then Group H is going to be Germany. That's my prediction. Let's go.
Yeah, to screw over my entire schedule, right?
So my hopes are that Japan lands in Group that's Group G against Venezuela and Australia. That makes up for a lot of great matchups here.
There you go. Let's go. Roll the roulette.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Raiden will probably flip shit if it's gonna be Japan. Again.
So-
Again and again and again. It's their nemesis, I'm pretty sure. And we will have Germany.
Already immediately wrong. Okay, I'm okay with that.
There you go, see order. I'm going to start with the Germany players. We have New 104, Xay, Chromox, MC Bongo Combo, Napuri, which is a new player, and Little Me right here. Our average PP is at 8.8k, which is, I believe, 5th place, if I'm seeing that right. Our captain is Chromox, even though they are 3rd in our team. We have Mew 104 at the top of our team with 9.5k performance points, which is pretty high.
So, looking at the accuracy here as well, Germany is fairly high up there, being the 6th highest seeded team for the average of 3 players, sitting at 99.08%. So, one of the first teams that we talked about that actually has that accuracy in the 99% range. Or sorry, not one of the first teams. One of the first teams that's like not. You know what? Ignore that. Whatever. Moving on. They have some really strong players as well, with Mew 104 being an incredibly strong hidden player, Xay being an incredibly talented double time player, Chromox hidden player. I mean, you can talk all day about Germany. You're a Germany player, so I mean, go nuts.
Yeah, I'll be going ahead right now. MC Bongo Combo had a rename from Golden Week. A lot of people are arguing that the previous name was better, but this is a little joke that we had in our Discord. I'm not going into detail here. I love the new name. Well, they are incredibly talented at Hard Rock as well. Quote from them, they can read the Usain Bolt notes. Anyway, Napuri, starting from what I know, is good at double time, and I hope that's going to pay out for us. Myself, I'm really only talented at no mock plays. I can juggle with 1/6 streams. I don't even. There's nothing really to be added here. Yeah, we had the average accuracy, 99.08 for 3 players. That's the first in the ranking to actually reach this accuracy. I think that's what you were trying to say, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing just about this team here, we have MC, Bongo Combo, and Zetera that are actually DDKK players. So one of the commentators that we are having with us right now is
Right.
also a DDKK player.
There you go. It's actually KKDD, so I use the left hand to play.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're one
It
of them
doesn't really
players that
matter
has to be a
snowflake,
special
no.
snowflake and had to do it the reverse way.
I don't know. I felt like Dons were primarily mapped when I started, so I figured I should put my fastest hand on.
You're not wrong
the rest.
to put it
Yeah.
like that.
That's the right idea, but then it's like you get the map where it's the other way around and then you're just crying in a corner.
Yeah.
So Tasha, where do you want to go? Group G or Group H?
I definitely want to go against Australia. Let's go.
Yeah.
See that.
I actually want to sleep this weekend, so maybe not Canada,
Because of the
please,
week.
pretty please.
Throw the chamber one more time.
Okay.
See.
We have a 50-50 chance. Let's go Group.
G,
Let's go Group G.
and it's gonna be it's Canada.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
yeah.
There goes Lockdown's weekend.
My sleep.
I think there's one thing that's certain with every live drawing. The live drawings hate Locktab schedules. Every
More
time.
than anything.
Okay.
Like, I swear they're designed to make it as difficult for you as they can.
So, starting with Canada's players here, we have Tasha, myself, Janitor, Vlad Yushko, Fudgy King, also known as Nanners, and Steven Rama,
Oh,
taking part for the Canadian team. We have an average accuracy performance points of, wow, I'm totally losing my spot here. 8.6k performance points.
Want me to do the accuracy?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Right. Canada, yeah. Of course, top 10 over here. That is slightly below Germany here. You have an accuracy average of 98.99. That's just below 99%. And the highest accuracy in Canada's team is by Vlad Yushko with 99.13%. Fudgy King is just under 99%, representing the average of the team. The captain is at 98.86 and goes all the way down to 98.36, which means that they are pretty close together. Makes up for a very solid and good,
Very solid team, yeah.
right? Yeah.
So with Janitor being the captain, he is actually our third highest accuracy. But I want to talk about mods a little bit, just because I'm a little more comfortable talking about my own team when it comes to that.
Sure.
So we have some really strong players in terms of mods. We have a very strong Hard Rock team, especially with Janitor, myself, and Fudgy. Even Vlad, for that matter, because he's one of our most accurate players. We have some strong double time players, and we even have some hidden players in our team too, though I don't really want to reveal just who, other than myself. Definitely a team that is very scary to play against no matter what mod you end up deciding to play against us, just because we have so much practice and we're very well-rounded in terms of mod usage. So I'll just say it right now, bring it on, Australia.
We even have a single special snowflake in your team as well. Guess who it is? It's yourself.
Yeah, it's me.
It's DDKK for you, isn't it?
Yeah. And I wish I never did it.
Lot of
Any
regrets
new
always
players
choose
that
this.
are watching this, don't learn
Don't start
style.
DDKK.
Just start with the default key setting, even if it
Yeah.
sounds or looks weird.
Please.
Pretty please.
Maybe place it in the middle, but leave it at that. Don't change the colors.
Just get used to it. Alright, and who have thought in Group H we will have Japan?
As the Japanese wall just kind of circles on the screen.
At least this gave us the most thrilling experience here.
Oh, actually,
up until the
yes.
very end.
Let me just mention a quick thing right here. So I've been talking about the Great Wall of Japan. These players are consisting of rank 1 in the world, 2 in the world, 3 in the world, 4 in the world, 5 in the world, and 6 in the world. So they just went with the top. They removed all the players that they saw there and put them into the Taiko World Cup. And this is scary for everybody. That means that we are, let me just check that in terms of PP, we are not going below 10k PP here. The average of 3 players is 11.4k PP, which is, you know, scary as I said.
Let me just put that in perspective. So the second highest team in 3-player average is Taiwan with 9,406 performance points. There is a 2,000 performance point difference between Taiwan and Japan between their top 3 players.
On the spot, 2,000 points. Yep.
And
just
then-
to clarify, the players are U68, Shinchiku Home, Tasuke, which is the captain, Asuyura, Uone, I'm sorry if that was wrong, and Subatsuyu.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop there. It's not even just their like performance points. It's also their accuracy. So let's just let's say it this way: their highest accuracy player is U1, who has a 99.6% accuracy, and their lowest is Tasuke at 98.53. Their second lowest is 99.37. So 5 of their 6 players are above 99% accuracy average. And their 3-player average between their team is 99.52%, a flat out 27% or 0.27% higher than the second most accurate team, which is the United States.
Yeah, that makes Japan just almost scary. But
Almost.
no, almost scary. Anyway, yeah, I really don't want to see Japan at the top again, and we think that it is possible to break the wall this year, especially with these players that we have this year. Yeah, it's just really one-sided, as you can see, but we don't want it to be that one-sided in the end.
Map pools and Squirmy 2 play a lot into that, and with that being said, we have finished our drawings. And in Group A, we will have Norway, United Kingdom, Taiwan. In Group B, we will have the Russian Federation, Indonesia, and Chile. And in Group C, we will have Malaysia, Argentina, and Hong Kong. In Group D, we will have Ukraine, France, and South Korea. In Group E, we will have Sweden, Brazil, the United States. In Group F, we will have Finland, Spain, and Germany. In Group G, we will have Venezuela, Australia, and Canada. In Group H, we will have China, Poland, and Japan.
We started the memes already. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Don't let your hopes go down. Players are really strong, and tournament settings are far different than single player mode. Especially since you can't retry, you have a different scoring, you have a specific set of beat maps.
Yeah, nothing is set in stone just yet. 2017 has been the year of upsets, so let's get into the tournament without any, you know, prejudice. Is that a word?
Prejudice?
Prejudice?
There you go.
So, considering we're not in the map pool showcase just yet, I'm going to talk very briefly about some of the groups that are in there. Some of the most interesting ones are definitely, I would say, Australia and Canada in, I believe we were in Group G.
Yep.
The stream just kind of like swapped over right when I started saying that. So. There was 2 other ones that I wanted to mention in there. There was Hong Kong and jeez, why'd you have to spot the screen right then?
Are we talking top seats still, or?
No, just about like interesting matches that are going to end up happening, like just groups, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can go through the groups again if you want. Okay, so we've got Group A, Taiwan, UK, Norway. B, Chile, Indonesia, Russia. C. Hong Kong, Argentina, Malaysia. D. South Korea, France, Ukraine. E.
I would say,
you know,
just really quickly, South Korea and France is probably going to be a fairly interesting match.
No, I can agree there. Yeah.
Alright, E, we've got United States, Brazil, Sweden. F. Germany, Spain, Finland. G. Canada, Australia, Venezuela. H. Japan, Poland, China.
Yeah, so out of those ones, I'd say those are like the two that I can think of off the top of my head that will probably be fairly close matches. I would say out of like all the groups, those are probably the two most balanced matches. But there's also going to be some mid-low seed matchups that are going to be fairly close too.
And I can't wait for these matches actually. There was some person asking where Poland was in the group setting. These will be published on the wiki page on the new website later this day, right?
Exactly. And with that being said, I will opt out and we'll start the map pool showcase in a few seconds. And Zendra and Tasha will also prepare, I guess, already.
Yeah, absolutely. We're pumped. This is the exciting, or second exciting part of the day. This map pool is colossal, really. This is something you haven't seen before, I'm pretty sure. Prepare for some surprising maps in the as
pool?
well. Excuse me?
In the pool, just like in general,
yeah,
the pool is
in
looking
every pool.
really cool.
Yeah, in every mod pool and no mod as well. That's what I meant to say.
So to say that, we will show off two kind of replays. We will have one time Onusakahito playing the maps and Sayaka playing the maps. These are pre-made replays, so they're not live, but still interesting to watch, I suppose. So are you guys ready?
I'm ready to start when you are.
You're ready to start when we are. Alright, let's start with the first map in a few seconds.
Count us down. So while we're waiting for this lock pad guy, Will mentioned that this pool is actually looking to be quite a bit harder than what you guys might be used to for the group stage. We have some very difficult maps. This is stuff that you would normally probably have expected in like quarterfinals, I would say. So yeah, you guys are gonna have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, previous group stage map pools are not comparable to what you're going to see this year. We haven't had maps as interesting as these are right now. At least not a group stage, that is.
I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, I am as well.
Okay, I think we're good to go then.
Alright, you want to start, Tasha?
For sure. So the first map that we are looking at is N Nightfall.
Yeah, seems to be a collab. But the host of the map set is Ayui, is that right? Yeah. We are at 5.77 stars. I mean, this is already really high for no mod in group stage, but it's going to be a lot worse, believe me. This is still a no mod pool. You can see Onusakahito play it right now.
So you can probably already notice from this pool, or this map in particular, there's a lot of finishers in this map. There's some 160 usage as well. And there's even a little bit of mono spread across the map. This is the highest BPM map in the pool at 220 BPM.
Yep. These patterns are becoming progressively harder because of these finishers, especially for players that have a unique playstyle that is not conventional. There are some players that are going to have some benefits with these. But overall, this is going to make it a lot harder. Also, please note the SV changes. Really small ones, but they may as well throw off some players.
Yeah, as you can see, like even with Ono's replay here, he's struggling a little bit sometimes here in some of the 1-6. Like some players may end up dropping on stuff like this, and some of them are pretty brutal, especially for DDKK style players, especially that 1-6 burst there.
Yeah, I want you to consider this is still 220 BPM, really fast for 1-6 streams as well.
But there is a lot of points in finishers on this map.
Yeah, that can help in very dangerous situations for any team, really.
This may end up, the finishers may end up actually being the make or break for a lot of players, especially for players that may not normally always hit finishers. Like there are players that are like that, they don't necessarily go for them for score, right? But this is score V2, they're a lot more valuable in here, and you really want to put as much effort in as you can into hitting them, because they're worth a lot more points.
Yeah, again, a person was asking what KKDD is. That is when you have your blue circles on the left hand, and your red circles on the right hand. You're sort of you're putting the colors on each side of your body practically, and that's easier to spread through that physical you got your colors individual on each side.
You got color on each hand. But I don't know about you guys, but after looking at that map, you have to be like, what the heck is this? And just, this is a crazy difficulty for group stage compared to the last year's. And you can see it in the chat. Everyone's like, wait, what is this? Oh God, it's so hard. And it's like, you're right, it is. This is going to be a completely different Taiko World Cup from the last couple of years.
Absolutely. And we're right into the second map, which is non-stop. At least that's the difficulty name. It's 0.0 by Nekomata Master, map by Nyan. Also a very non-mapper for at least unranked maps and really hard maps. This is at 6.61 stars. That is something we haven't heard yet in group stage.
Well, this map I actually do know a little bit about. This is a very technical map. There's a lot of different unique snappings in it, especially towards the end of the song. The end of the song is pretty brutal.
Yeah, but also in the middle of the song, here and there are going to be some 1/6 patterns in normal streams, and that is going to cause a lot of trouble for a couple of players, really. Also, what I find really tricky myself are these 3 circle inserts into the streams. That's not really conventional. We're used to 4 circles or 2 circles, anything that's dividable by 2. That makes it a lot harder as well.
And here we have a really difficult 1/6 section in here with a little bit of 1/8 even mixed in.
Oh, yes.
1/8 doublets. About 2/3 into the song, you just get some really, really cool rhythm stuff going on here. Lots of different technical patterns.
You would never expect this in a group stage map pool, and I'm just even more excited to see what is coming up in other map pools, in higher map pools.
And I just want to point out, guys, this is the group stage. You guys are, I don't know about you, but this is looking to be a pretty difficult year for maps.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting for everybody. Anyway, we have to move on to the next map, which is map by Tasuke 912. It's an Oni difficulty, and the song is Shunin wa Sora o Tadoru. Please excuse me for my horrible Japanese pronunciation. Anyway, this map is opted at 5.61 stars, a bit lower than... Oh, I'm sorry, no, I went into the wrong line. This is actually the hardest map in the whole no map pool, or in the whole pool in general. This is 7.2 stars, roughly.
It is the slowest in terms of BPM, though. It is only 160 BPM. It's basically a map that's incredibly technical. There's lots of different snappings in it. I would have expected to see something like this maybe in a hard rock pool later, but we're seeing it in the no mod pool now.
So what's unique about this map is that it incorporates 1/3 and 1/4 map streams in the entirety of the map. And the snapping at the end is really confusing, as we are being told. And we're going to see that later on in the map. As you can see, there are 1/3 streams and 1/6 even right in the middle of streams. The audience is right, it looks really easy, but please do not get confused by this low BPM.
I mean, it looks easy until it hits the parts where you've got like 1/6 bursts and whatnot. Even if it's low BPM, that's still hard to do. And like the timing in general of patterns here, like in snappings in general, just change so fast, especially in the like pretty jazzy section towards the end there. Yeah, that last section there is probably going to cause some issues as we move into the next map.
This is a song that I have mapped before. Fujin Rumble by Kozio Suntata, mapped by Sean Happy 85220, and this is at 5.61 stars, the one that I mistook for the previous map.
Well, this map definitely starts off pretty easy, but it's from the looks of it, pretty monocolor heavy. So a lot of dawns here. Yeah, you can definitely see it now. There's very heavy monocolor patterns, though it is fairly low BPM, so it'll maybe cause some trouble for some DDKK players or vice versa.
Oh, I'm definitely interested in playing that myself. I look at these Dawn streams, that looks absolutely challenging.
Oh, and then
even worse, did you see that?
Yeah, if players, okay, so because of the spitter, or because of the finisher bonus, that section right there with all the finishers is going to be vital to this map, especially when players are poke comboing, as there's going to be so many bonus points to get there if you hit every single one of those finishers. And even those like Dawn finishers at the end of those like monocolor Dawn streams, that's going to be like, even that'll add up.
Yeah, I'm personally doubting that people are going to try and hit that 1D, or that's the second one actually. Yeah, the finishers are really tricky in this map.
And look at the one, oh man, that's so brutal. It's got like 1/4 and it just slows down to 1/3 and it's, oh, that looks so tricky.
I can't wait for this map. Should be another 1/3 section here. Oh yeah, this one. It just mixes up everything that can come to you. It's only the 1/6 missing. Well, a lot of monos, that's going to be a lot of trouble.
Is there a chance you think that might get banned a lot during the group stage?
Hard to say. I mean, we haven't really seen all the maps yet, so...
Why didn't you talk about the next one? It's yours after all.
Well, I mapped this a really long time ago, so I actually don't fully remember the map anymore, but this map has, if I remember correctly, it's got a lot of 1/4 plus 1/6 towards the end, later half of it. And there is a lot of 1/6 burst.
Even monocolor 1/6.
Yeah, like even right at the start, you're greeted with a 1/6 burst.
Like a warm hug. Anyway, this map has HP 8, which is extremely high and therefore pretty much confusing for any mistake. You have to watch out that you're failing here, especially when there are these mix-ups between 1/4 and 1/6. You're going to be very careful, otherwise you may have to expect to fail. Oh, these semi-ninja big notes.
And yeah, this map does have some slider velocity changes in it.
And other players, of course.
Another thing is that because of spinners now having the ability to break combo if you don't complete them. Those short spinners are actually fairly vital. If you break combo there, you will lose a lot of points.
That's true.
I don't know. To me, this is just crazy. This is the group stage. I'm actually looking forward to the next stage now at this point.
Oh, absolutely. I have no idea what's going to come to us there. I'm clueless. I haven't seen maps that hard in the finals at some point.
You know, I sometimes have to remind myself that this is group stage.
You know this is group stage, you're not a higher stage.
Here I thought we were at the semis already.
Oh no, actually impressing me with his play here. I didn't think he could actually full combo this.
Oh, he's still up for combo, just, yeah. Wow. He did it.
Clap for, oh no. Clappa,
enough.
clappa, clappa.
Moving
It
on.
wasn't even Ono.
Wait, wasn't?
Oh, that
That
was
was
Sayaka?
Sayaka.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Ah, there
Clappa
we
for
go.
Sayaka then.
Let's reverse that clapping. Yeah. Let's move on to the next map, which is IX or 9 possibly, which was composed by DJ Taka and DJ Toto, and mapped by Yao Yuji 0332. It's an Oni difficulty and it's at 6.97 stars. Really close to the one by Tuske.
So there is a couple of 1/6 streams here, as we've been seeing already. This is probably actually one of the easier maps in terms of no mod pool. This is actually the last no mod that we will see.
So this was categorized as a normal map. We have a lot of alternating patterns. We see a lot of variations on triplets right here that may throw off some people.
So this stream right here, oh my god, that looks difficult. Okay, that's going to cause some problems for players right there. That mono stream with 1/4 plus 1/6 mixed in, especially with that long 1/6 mono burst at the end there are definitely going to be misses on that. And I feel like there's going to be some players that are DDKK players that are going to just be like, nope, don't want to even see that, going to get banned.
Yeah.
Might even be thinking that to myself right now.
Oh, what is this? Oh, this reminds me of Music Revolver. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Basically the same thing.
This, wow, just wow.
That's a well-deserved 7 stars right there.
I don't have a better word to describe how I'm feeling right now. Just wow.
That's going to be interesting. Again, this is group stage. I can't put any expectations up for the other pools, really.
I'm almost curious about what we're going to see in the mod pools now, because after seeing that no mod pool,
Pretty
that
terrified
was some
myself.
pretty hard stuff.
Oh yeah. And we're moving on with the hidden pool, which has 2 maps in it.
So starting with the first map for the hidden pool, we have Slit, which is the inner Oni by Fires. Do you want to talk about this map a little bit here, Cedric?
Right, okay, this map starts with some very slow patterns. I mean, I'm not the expert at hidden, but this looks like I could mess up easily because of the slider velocity, as well as the complexity. Oh wait, right now it doesn't look too complex, but it is going to amp up later on, definitely. Especially because this map is at 5.2 stars, which is not the lowest, the highest of course. There are going to be some 1/6 patterns, And this stream looks really complicated to me. I mean, I'm a little bit behind, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be very hard to read.
Yeah, just this being a slow SB map as it is, and some of those 1/6 streams being really heavy monos, we might see some players having some trouble there. I definitely would expect some combo breaks on a map like this. Very stream heavy, even though it is low BPM, it even has some 1/3 sections that are mixed in there. So fairly technical map and very streamy.
I think the low BPM really adds to the difficulty. I mean, we're talking about high accuracy that every player needs to... Oh, that was a 1/6. There you go. And a smooth SV speed up as well. And that ending looks really hard to do as well. And I didn't see anything at the end. I don't know what that was. But make sure you prepare for that map, definitely.
So for the next map that we actually have Blackie versus You Havocs, the inner Oni difficulty. Gonna be honest, I was not expecting this to be in the group stage. This is a fairly new map, actually.
Yeah, I didn't expect it in group stage either, and especially not in the hidden pool. I mean, putting this into hidden makes it suitable for even higher map pools than I expected it to be in myself. So I would expect this somewhere around semi-finals or quarterfinals. No, it's in the group stage. I can't believe it. This is at a whole 6.83 stars. It's mapped by Arrival. Did you say that already? I don't know.
Well, if you didn't, you definitely said it now. And oh man, like this isn't exactly like a super difficult map, but throw hidden on there and you got some 1/8s that you can definitely drop accuracy on. And you even have some 1/6 bursts. It's like, I don't know. I think we're going to see most of the misses on the 1/6. I don't think we'll see very many like outside of those sections.
Yeah, I want you to pay attention on these, well, they're already gone now, but these doubles that you had right there. You can play these as a stream, but it's really hard to actually hit them because of the speed, that's for one, and because it's not exactly a 1/4. And with hidden, I guess that just adds a little bit of difficulty there.
One thing I'm noticing with this pool so far is that a lot of the maps have very varied rhythms. We have a lot of maps that are switching between like 1/4 and 1/3 snapping quite frequently, even some 1/6 being thrown in there. And
Absolutely.
I mean, I wasn't expecting it this early, but we've got 1/4 plus 1/6 snap patterns like pretty much right from the get-go.
Yes, as you can see in the replay, the one who played that actually struggled with the map himself.
That'd be Ono this time. Poor Ono.
Poor Ono.
Yeah, you can see the watching owner at the top if you look carefully enough.
Okay, we'll be moving on with the Hard Rock pool. Again, this one consists of 2 maps, and the first map in this pool is Ute, I don't even know how you pronounce that, Mudpie by Utah. This map has 6.09 stars, I believe, when you add Hard Rock.
I actually believe this map is done by Konomi, because it's Knoble's Pie. I think this
Right.
might be a Konomi candy map.
Oh, true, yeah, I didn't even think about that. So, as you can already see, the scroll speed on this map is actually pretty high. It has some sections that have 1.5 slider velocity, but that's not the only thing that makes this map hard. There are also a couple of 1/6 bursts in there that can actually throw you off really quickly. So you better watch out when you try to read that map. yeah, some of these 1/6 bursts you have in the streams, that makes it a lot more difficult to actually play, especially with hard rock. I mean, you gotta consider that these are in 1/4 streams on high OD. This makes it very difficult to actually hit these accurately. This is important in Scorby too. Say overall these patterns are fairly okay to play, but again, in group stage I wouldn't really expect this map to appear at all. Looking for a real treat here in this phase.
Sorry about that, I'm back. And wow, we actually have some pretty fast scroll speed coming in here.
Absolutely. Welcome back.
Oh, and it's only gonna get faster.
Periodically, yeah.
And there's all the 1/6, here we go!
Ugh, these mix-ups. I'd say they're manageable, but pretty hard.
I think the hardest thing about this map isn't so much the patterns themselves, it's more just the speed at which it's scrolling at you.
I see you there.
And no, Midnight, we are not showing the semis map pool, we are definitely showing the group stage map pool.
This is the group stage, you're not wrong here. I mean, make your predictions for the other map pools, but I have none at this point. And a quick K-stream to end the map really just adds to, well, the lethality of this map, if I may say so. Anyway, moving on, we have Dynamite, composed by Yusao. You know that song from Standard. Suki Nathan made a set on that. This is the extended mix, so this is going to be a long song. This is made by Subaki131, and it is situated at 5.7 stars, or rather 5.75. This map is really quick with 216 BPM. And this already makes up a challenge in terms of reading because the slider velocity is going to be naturally high on this map.
I think this is actually the first map though that we won't see 1/6 then.
Well, that's possible, yeah. So far the structure hasn't been too complex, but I think this is going to become just a tad harder later on. Don't think about the key I just said. There we go. There was a little burst, but we're not counting that. Again, the slide velocity is causing quite a bit of trouble for me personally, but I think for a lot of other players,
it's fast even for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's pretty fast scroll speed.
Yeah, maybe it's me looking at the replay, but yeah, this seems very fast, especially for the stage that we're in, which I'm mentioning again. This is glitch stage.
Yeah, we just need to kind of like confirm that for ourselves at this point. This is group stage.
Yeah. Are you sure this is group stage?
I'm fairly sure it's group stage.
Stage, okay, yeah, this. Wow. I mean, all this speed has taken its toll on the accuracy. Your main goal is going to be to maintain this accuracy. that's going to be quite the challenge, I figure.
This map will definitely be a map that I'd say both lower seeded teams and higher seeded teams are probably going to be looking to play. It's one of the simpler maps in the pool. The biggest challenge of it is just the speed at which it scrolls. So fairly likely we'll see like Hard Rock teams going straight for that.
Yeah, I can see that happening as well. Yeah, the patterns weren't too difficult, but the reading's going to be the biggest issue here. So this was the second map in the Hard Rock pool. Now we're going over to the Double Time pool, and this is a map that we have seen before plenty of times. This is Caravan Palace Dragons by MMZZ. The original map set is by Charles445. It's incorporated in this map set. The start difficulty on this itself isn't too high, but the complexity of this map, especially through double patterns, is high enough to warrant a very great pick for this group stage.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be honest. I was actually playing this map somewhat recently, trying to do it with Double Time Hard Rock, and while the map itself isn't hard, it's a very technical map.
Oh yeah.
And there's quite a few parts where if you're not prepared for how the patterning comes at you, you're probably just gonna miss.
And I want you to pay attention to where the bursts are in these streams, because if you mess up on these bursts, you're going to have a bit of trouble coming back into the map due to the node locking problem. I don't know what the OD on this is, but I feel like there's going to be quite a bit of an issue concerning that when you are not right on timing on these 1/6, that you are just messing up the entire stream. That will cost you a lot of points. You see these bursts? This section is crazy.
And just like looking at the slower section with doubles, it's just like reading that is a challenge in itself. Slow scroll speed with doubles at that speed is just, that's tricky.
It's mad. Yeah. Yeah, overall we have a lot of doubles here, but the real focus on this map that we should put on is on the burst, really. We have monocolor as well as multiple colored bursts in here that will mess you up if you don't watch out.
And of course, towards the end, we also even have some finisher spams. So we'll have to see how many people actually hit all those finishers, because there's quite a few points to be made there.
Didn't even remember those. Yeah, that is going to be interesting for Scorby 2. Anyway, the next map that is in the Double Time pool, I really didn't expect to find here in this pool, because telling from personal experience, this is pretty much a map that can be done on the level where I am at, but I myself have a lot of trouble just keeping up with especially what the map starts like. Do you see these dons? This is The Losses by Yasu, and I may be wrong here, but I feel like the mapper is also the composer, because it was mapped by Yasu hyphen. This is at 5.16 or 5.17 stars to be exact. And again, the beginning may cause a lot of trouble concerning accuracy because it's a mono stream, depending on who's going to play the map. Following these, we have some kind of difficult patterns in general because of the mixed colors. And keeping up with the speed right here is quite going to be the problem. So.
The patterns themselves, though, are compared to the other maps not as complex. We have a lot of quad and doublet patterns, but nothing like insanely difficult beyond the beginning part with the monos.
Yeah.
Though as we get towards the end, it gets a little bit heavier, a little bit more dense, and there is still those 1/6 that are mixed into the 1/4 towards the end and at the beginning. So there are some spots that players will definitely have issues, may trip up on.
Yeah, the last stream will bring up some misses. I don't know whether it will be too late by then, but it's definitely going to mess up some scores. I can see that.
So for this map, this is our first free mod. It is Fericudis Distorv, and this map you can use hidden or hard rock for.
Yeah, you cannot combine these modes, these mods. You can only play either hidden or hard rock.
There will, however, be a map that you can use both hidden and hard rock.
So this is a song I really like. I've played the standard version. I think there's one ranked version there by RLC. Non-mapper. I've actually started mapping the song myself. But talking about the map itself, it has
Whoa! Wait,
quite some
that
SV.
just
This-
wait. There was a hyperspeed. What? Hyperspeed slider. That's gonna combo break so many people if they're not ready for it.
Oh right, it breaks now, doesn't it?
Yep.
Whew. Yeah, SV is quite the theme in this map. Also, please notice that the base OD of this map is 6.4, and if you add hard rock to this, it's going to be a very high value. So, as you can see in the replay, the accuracy is already pretty low. And now, considering that the difficulty of these patterns is not too much, or it's not too hard, it may be possible to maintain better accuracy here, but the speed is definitely a problem.
Yeah, I think that this is one of the kind of maps in the pool that you're gonna have to like know certain things are coming up, especially like that slider, for example.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to know that's coming up, or you're just gonna like break combo and you're gonna feel bad. But the difficulty of the patterns, as you were saying, it's not really that high up there. Like even the patterns that are coming in quite fast, if you know they're coming, then they won't be too difficult to hit, because like that one really fast pattern there just a moment ago, it was just like a string of cats. Like not a very hard pattern, right?
As long as you know what's going to happen, it's pretty much going to be okay. However, there's one thing that adds to the difficulty, and that is the length of the map. This is quite a long map for a hard rock pick, so it's going to strain your eyes at a certain amount of time that you've played, and you know it's going to cost you some concentration, and at some point you're just likely forced to mess up, and that's where you're going to watch out, or maybe especially prepare for this stamina issue. And we're only at half of the map, or about 2/3 now.
This is definitely not a very friendly map to people that are not used to playing slider velocity style maps.
Or hard rock for that matter.
Slider velocity maps like only recently started getting somewhat popular, so people are starting to use slider velocity in more creative ways more frequently.
Yeah.
And on this particular map, I'd say that slider velocity is not too unforgiving, but there's definitely parts you need to know, like we were saying, like you just need to know they're coming up. But the length of this song is definitely going to cause issues, as you were saying, like just having to keep up with this map for that long, especially with, you said it was OD 6.4?
That's the base OD. You're right.
Yeah, so like even if you were to use hidden on this, you'd still have trouble, because like you have to know where like all the ninjas are coming in, and it's just a long map. This kind of map with hidden would just be very difficult.
Doesn't it become increasingly harder if you play hidden? I know that this is the case with flashlight, but I'm not quite sure if it is with hidden as well. Can you confirm that?
Say again, sorry?
So, you know, when you play flashlight, the area that you can see that becomes increasingly harder to follow
Yeah.
with rising combo. Is that the case in Hidden as well?
No, Hidden doesn't have that. Hidden is always the same view area.
Oh, so it's static. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is still going to be very difficult, especially with these velocity changes. You're never going to really fix on one speed that the nodes are coming in. So that may mess up your timing and therefore your accuracy or your combo even.
So do keep in mind that combo is not as important as it was in the last World Cups, especially with Score V2. With Score V2, if you miss, it's not really the end of the world anymore, especially with how scoring works now. It's more about keeping your accuracy up and just being overall consistent now.
Still have to watch out though. Yeah, overall, a map I can definitely see being played by the more experienced players. Maybe not the newer ones or the low seed teams, because it may mess up people. But hey, who knows? Maybe they deliberately picked this map in order to mess up the higher seeds and have a chance.
All right, so jumping right into the next map, we have Derwald, Hard Oni. On this map, you are allowed to pick Hidden or Hidden Hard Rock. I don't believe you are allowed to pick Hard Rock by itself, so it's only Hidden or Hidden Hard Rock.
Yeah, that's true. This map is at 5.58 stars. I think this is authored by Hard Rock. Anyway, the Wald. There are quite a couple of complex streams that are really long in this map. The map itself is not too long, but the streams themselves, they are expounding over quite a while. Maybe 30 seconds or more of pure streaming, and this is going to be hard with Hidden, since Hidden is pretty much forced if you use mods here.
I definitely want to say this is where we're going to see the differences between the mid seed and top seed on maps like this, where you can apply Hidden Hard Rock, because I don't think we're going to see very many low-seeded teams attempt to do Hidden Hard Rock, just due to the fact that it's probably not going to be worth it point-wise. It'll be too difficult. But the top seed teams, we're probably going to see a few different people using Hidden Hard Rock. I can think of a few people that are definitely going to want to use Hidden Hard Rock on this.
Yeah, I can see that too. Like, just proficient. I mean, Mew has, Mew 104 has practiced these mods together for quite a while in the past. I don't know specifically which players could pick the combination, but I can see it being used by very experienced ones. Yeah, so you're basically right. The sets that will be played against or between mid seed and top seed, these are probably going to be the ones that pick these maps, or this map rather.
All right, and for the next map, we have Responsibility Response.
What a name by Evil Elvis. This is plainly named Taiko, this difficulty, and it is surprisingly the lowest SR that I see at 3.84. This is even low for group stage maps in the past. I mean, I would say it's below average. And on this map, you can use any mods that you wish to use.
Yep, you can do
Hard Rock or combine it or nothing, as you wish.
And this is where I'm really glad about Score V2 in this regard, in that honestly there is no downside to choosing between Hidden or Hard Rock anymore, just because there's no like extra bonus points you can get off of spinners anymore. So Hard Rock is basically like you get the exact same score total as Hidden. And the only way you can really like push your score ahead now is by putting both mods together, which I'm quite like fond of the idea of that.
I'm not really the mod user, so I can't really talk on the same level as you can. But what I can see though is the massive usage of finisher nodes in this map. This is going to be interesting for Score V2 as well.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to cause like default players or KDDK players more problem than it will DDKK players or monocolor players.
Yeah.
Just because finishers are a lot easier to hit for monocolor players, as they don't have to like split up their fingers to actually play those patterns.
Yeah, correct.
One of the few advantages that you actually get out of that playstyle.
It's really not that many benefits that you can yield from that, so. Well, then again, these finishers are not really incorporated into streams, so they may be easier to hit, but they're definitely crucial in this map.
Overall, this doesn't look like it's a very difficult map, though. I haven't seen very many complex patterns yet. It's fairly slow. The one thing about it is it's long.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, there is nothing really complex in terms of rhythm. Complexity-wise, I don't really know. I didn't see anything too special here. We're only at 2/3 now, so yeah, the length does definitely play a role here.
Ooh, that's nasty right there. That slider change or slider velocity change going into the transition. That's definitely kind of caused players that used hidden or hidden hard rock a bit of an issue unless they've got that part like down pat.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that appears to be the only part of the map that has something like that.
You mean the one from Speed Eaters?
Yeah.
I just saw that. Oh, that was nasty. Yep.
I feel very bad for any players that may not hit finishers on songs like this because they are going to really feel the pain when it comes to their score on Score V2.
Yep.
All right, and for the last map of the day, we have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, this is going to be a free mode pick basically as well. In the tiebreaker, you're allowed to pick any mod configuration. Therefore, this is another Japanese name, so
Let me give this one a shot. Let me give this
one.
Iki o Koroshida Sokesai.
Okay, I'll take you by the word.
I probably got the last word wrong, and several other ones. I probably butchered that, but we're gonna go with it.
I mean, that is going to be better than anything I could have ever produced.
Maybe
anyway, this map is by Sayaka. We are at 6.2 stars, so this is pretty hard actually. We're talking 155 BPM, so this is actually really slow, and that means the map is going to be quite technical. See some mixed streams with 1/6 burst in them.
Now, the real question is going to be when if we do end up seeing the tiebreaker, who's going to be crazy enough to throw all mods on this? Who's going to do the hidden hard rock?
Right, that's a thing. Oh, jeez.
Oh, Tasha,
Yeah,
are you crazy to do that?
Oh, I'm totally crazy enough to do that.
Yes,
So I haven't seen the whole map yet.
We need to get Kenda into a tiebreaker situation.
Oh, we'll get there. I want you to play these with this map with 2 mods. Or anybody really. I just wanted to see it with 2 mods.
I like how this map is like mixing in some slow slider velocity sections with some faster ones. I'm really appreciative of mappers using slider velocity to make a map more interesting. And
it's becoming more common as well.
Yeah, just in general, just using it to fit the pacing of the song, and it plays really good, and it just looks really good.
Yeah, it's a lot more natural. I mean, it fits to the song as well as it gets, really. This map looks fun. Oh, maybe not anymore. This section looks really interesting. These are 1/8s, aren't they?
I do actually believe those should be like 1/4, but Depends on what the BPM is set at, so you could say 1.8 or 1.4.
Right, yeah. I mean, either it's 1.5 and 1.4, you know.
Oh, every time I see monos like that, I just die a little inside.
Oh, God, okay. This is going to be hard for me and for you, and for...
Yeah, that'd be, you know how I said I'd probably throw Hidden Hard Rock on this? I might have been lying.
Let me guess. You're gonna retract that statement now, aren't you?
I totally retract that statement. Maybe Hard Rock, not so much Hidden.
I'll still settle for Hard Rock.
I mean, you could possibly stream over all of these.
What is the... Oh my god, the patterns. Why? No, that's actually really hard. It looks like it's fairly simple, but the spacing on those notes is so tricky to actually play properly and hit accurately.
It's all in Ks! You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch over to my 2 keys on the left side and then using both hands for that part. And then just hope to switch over to the right side again with my right hand at the perfect timing. There's no way I'm hitting these.
I don't know. I think that's a lot harder than just looking at that and saying like, hey, that's 1/6 like quad cats. It's the spacing like between the 1/6 quads is actually like very minute. It's like a 1/3 snap spacing.
Yeah.
And if you play that too fast, you'll just miss. Like.
Anyway, that looks like it was the hardest part of the map, like
So far, anyway, yeah.
Complexity-wise,
I don't know what the rest of the map is gonna entail, but we still got another fourth of it to go.
I mean, there are some nasty streams in there still. This is a Ki after all.
Get a little bit of a slow section there. Gives players a little bit of a break. Also, that kind of miss there that oh jeez.
Yeah, let's
I've had
not
those kind of
address
misses before.
Reminds me of Aragami. You probably know that set.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
do.
where there are these 1/6 in the beginning, and when you hit those, you get a spinner and then a super slow part, and I just miss that every time I full combo that stream, which is rare already. Same thing here.
You know, interestingly enough, I would actually say some of the no-mod maps that are in the pool are harder than this, despite this being the tiebreaker. But this is a very long map. It's easily the hardest, like, in terms of length.
Yeah, you gotta be consistent over the whole course of the song, really. And that makes it possibly even compared to the other maps in the Nomad pool. But they're really close still.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still a very technical map, too. This,
Yeah, indeed.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm super excited for next week.
What was that in the end? Ugh.
I'm just gonna give you some slow slider velocity triplets and stuff. No big deal.
I mean, we had so many over the course. Let's just throw some in.
And that is actually all of the maps for the Map Pool Showcase. We should have all of the maps and all of the groups up on the wiki probably by the end of the day. If not by the end of the day, then probably tomorrow. And I think we're actually done here.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's nice joining you.
And yeah, that'll be it for Taiko World Cup 2017 Map Pool Showcase and group drawings. This is Tasha, this is Tara, and thank you all for coming and tuning in, and see you guys all next week.
See you next weekend.